Continuing our reading of A.M. Trotter's 19th century A Manual of English Grammar and Analysis of Sentences. We're on page 9, number 14. A word used to make an assertion about a person, animal, place, or thing is called a verb, as John speaks, fishes swim, a church was crowded, the string will break. Okay. Observation 1. The noun or pronoun about which an assertion is made is called the subject. The verb tells what the subject does, or what is done to it, or in what state it exists. As the dog barks, he was reproved, Mary sleeps. Okay. Exercise. Point out the verb and subject in each of the following sentences. The sun shines. Shines. Birds fly. Fly. We heard a lark. Heard. The clock struck 1. They wrote a letter. The man had sold his horse. My father was sitting in the garden. Was sitting. He was struck with a stone. Was struck. The servant ran for the doctor. Pupils should learn their lessons. Has a clerk written a letter? The cup was broken to pieces. He would have been drowned. Can you speak French? The rain had softened the soil. Come here, James. So come. Long live the Queen. Live long. They will now take care. The dog has bitten my leg. You may go. Have you spent all your money? Speak distinctly. This exercise is well written. The stars are bright. Stand still. So stand still implied you, right? I must return soon. Mary's frock is torn. Did you see the bear? May I go out? Learn your lesson well. Injure nobody. The scholars will have a holiday. Do not stay long. Sheep are useful animals. Our time should be well employed. Okay, so under observation 1, so verbs tell what things do. What a subject does. Or is done to it. Or its state. The state it exists, right? Okay. So we think about those 3 things, aspects of verbs. Does, we often think about this, but is done to it. Such as the bear is tired. Tiredness is done to it. Okay, continuing on, next observation. Every asserting word is a verb, but it is not every form of the verb that can be used to make an assertion. Thus, to love, loving, loved, to speak, speaking, spoken, are verbs, though they cannot be used in these forms to assert something about a subject. Let me write down assertions. Point out all the verbs in the following sentences. England expects every man to do his duty. So England expects, and then every man to do. To err is human. They told me to send off the parcel. We left them standing on the road. Saying this, he left the room. Will you help me to catch the pony? Did your father reprove you for staying so late? Driven by the storm, we took refuge in the harbor. When do you intend to return? The boy, having disobeyed the teacher, was dismissed from school. Okay. So let's look at that one. That's a more complex sentence. So the boy, having disobeyed, so past tense disobeyed, but that's still something the boy did. Disobeyed, does. Was dismissed, and this was dismissed is a state, right? The state of the boy is being dismissed from the school. Okay, so let's go back to the observation and look at that closely. Every asserting word is a verb, but it is not every form of a verb that can be used in this making assertion. Thus, to love, loving, and loved, to speak, speaking, spoken, are verbs, though they cannot be used in these forms to assert something about the subject. So, the boy was dismissed. So, assert something about the subject, right? His dismissal. He's not in the school anymore. Not to mention that's pretty harsh. Did he just disobey the teacher once or multiple times? Did anybody come to harm? Continuing on with these sentences. So all of them could be analyzed for this way, looking for assertions about the subject. So things that assert something about the subject. So there are things we do, but then there's things that are about us, right? It's basically what it's saying. Here's more sentences from the exercises. Then shook on the hill with thunder riven. Then shook the hills with thunder riven. Now that's from a poem, definitely. Then shook the hill. See, then the hill shook with thunder riven. With riven thunder. But then shook the hill. So shook is of doing, what it's doing, with thunder riven. Then rushed the steed to battle driven. It is your duty to obey your parents. I saw him walking in the garden. After discharging their muskets, the soldiers rushed upon the foe. You deserve credit for writing the exercise. To steal is a crime. On receiving his letter, I resolved to visit him. Having mislaid his book, he could not repeat his lesson. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. Oh, what a tangled web we weave when first we practice to deceive. So, weave, right? And a practice to deceive. Both those are doing verbs. 15. A word used to modify the meaning of a verb or adjective is called an adverb. Anybody that plays Mad Lib knows these pretty well. As he reads well. So read is the verb. And how does he read? He reads well. He wrote a very interesting letter. He wrote something that's very interesting. No, see, I wouldn't say that's an adverb, right? Oh, but it's very interesting. So it's an adverb to the sense that it's a modification of the adjective. Observation 1. An adverb also may also modify another adverb, as in you run rather fast. So fast to run, rather fast. Observation 2. An adverb modifying a verb tells when, where, and how the action of the verb is done, such as he died lately. Another one of those words that's kind of hard to read. Might be lately. He died lately. I'm going with. She lives here. The fox runs fast. So when, where, how. Observation 3. The adverb modifying the adjective expresses degree, as in exceedingly cold. It was exceedingly cold. He spoke so kindly. Exercises. Point out the adverbs and tell what word each qualifies. The enemy was utterly routed. So utterly to routed. He speaks so fast I can scarcely understand him. Scarcely understand. The ship will soon reach its destination. Soon reach. Okay, I'm just going to read the sentences now so that you have them if you want to do the practices. Suddenly he became so ill that I sent for the doctor immediately. The letter is very well composed. You should be more careful. More. His shoes are thoroughly dry. He visits us annually. Who so base as to be a slave? They never spoke thus before. The boy is much better now. How softly fall the snow. Come quickly. So it's such a simple sentence, right, with the implied noun. Come quickly. And then the verb, and then the adverb. Stand here. The night is very cold. His horse ran away. Speak gently. Another one. It is better to rule by love than fear. He can do so easily. I was once there. She looked at me earnestly and then began to smile. Have you ever seen so large an animal? The man was nearly killed. How soon have the leaves fallen? It is already winter. He is a most cautious man. I told you that before. The rain was falling heavily. The tree lay where it fell. Yeah, so actually uses the word where to modify where the tree laid, right? That always helps out, doesn't it? Where it fell, since adverbs modify the verb telling it when, where, and how it happened. Tell me when you are quite ready. He knows well enough how we ought to act. We have very seldom met him there. Very seldom. We hardly knew why he left so suddenly. Do your work smartly and well. His fingers still clasp the broken sword. So still and clasped. Because we also have an adjective there for broken sword, right? Slowly and sadly, we laid him down. He plunged headlong into the stream and swam safely across. Here our journey ends. Okay, we'll start right there on page 11 with prepositions next. Have a blessed day.